Beaver, away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to KritzKast. We have even more Highlander action for you here tonight. It's 2 games back to back. You sure are very, very lucky people. Yesterday we saw Envision versus Lucrosa, and we have another tight game here today between 2 double Prem champions. That's right, Tourettes Chessclub, the return. Once again, the second coming. Actually, make that the third coming. This is the second time they've been revived. They are back here again, and after a troublesome start to the season, they've solidified some sort of roster, and their scrim results have been pretty decent. They're in one corner, and facing them are the current defending champions, SDCK, Super Dickmann's KANNONEN, who will have had a decent start to the season themselves. 2 wins out of possible 3, only losing out to Strong Opinions in week 2. So the playoff track for them is very well underway. But these 2 teams are coming head to head, and I am expecting a very close game. We have 2 maps, CP Process and King of the Hill Coalplant. I am CeeJaey, and I'm flying solo tonight. So if you don't like my voice, you're about as lucky as a turkey during Christmas. But at the end of the day, I have now just been joined by Chando, so you're getting even more lucky now, as Chando is now with us, with Wiethoofd in the background. Chando, welcome back from your, I hope, successful official. How you doing, dude?
Yes, very good, thank you. I popped in late, but yes, we won in a decisive 3-0 for in Open Highlander, if anyone is interested. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal, as you can imagine. And now I'm ready to see some Prem Highlander. Here we go. What is this? Who the heck's playing? SDCK and Tourettes Chessclub, I suppose.
That's very quick deduction. I like it. That's how in tune you are with the scene at the moment. Like you, we casted yesterday as well, and we were expecting a close game, and then in the end, it was rather one-sided. You could say. I think Envision did fight a good battle on Process in the end, but it was in fact Lucrosa who kind of strong-armed them out of the way. And I think today, like this game here, people are going to be expecting SDCK to be the stronger side. I mean, Chessclub came back. There was all this hype over their roster. There was a lot of big names coming back, like Ascendary and Kresnik and Cobbs and all these guys who were going to, put together a pretty strong roster to contend for playoffs. But they lost to the 2 newly promoted teams in the first 2 weeks, got to week 3, had an entirely different roster. People had changed classes. They lost out to Failure Esports on Steel, and currently they find themselves bottom of the table. Even a win here today will not get them out of the relegation zone. So it's not looking good for them so far. I mean, at the moment, there still is chance for playoffs. That's the thing with a 6-team Premiership division. There still is the chance for you to get into playoffs, even though you are that far down. But it's probably not as easy going for them as expected. Whereas SDCK, again, they're having a decent season. They've won 2 out of 3. They beat Failure Esports in week 1, which was a very close encounter. They beat Envision in a close encounter on Steel last week. They lost out to Strong Opinions in week 2, but they are sat on 12 points, which means if they do get a nice, clean, crisp 6-0 here, Chando, they will be guaranteed playoffs, because 18 points is pretty much that key mark to reach to guarantee a top 3 position. So, I mean, first impressions, these 2 teams, on what we've seen so far, this is basically a top of the table versus the bottom of the table. Which way do you see it going?
Well, I mean, as you said, it is a top team versus the sort of the bottom team. So with that in mind, I think I'd be lying to myself if I said that SDCK aren't going to take this one. However, just due to, I would say, who is it? Tourettes Chessclub's sort of high volume of 6s players. I think that they might have some better performance on CP Process than we may have seen on other payload maps. I'm talking about like Olga, Raph, I believe maybe he was playing demo, Ixie and the like. They've all got very high sixes experience, and this being a very heavily sixes played map, I think they're going to be able to do quite well in it, especially the Tourettes Chessclub flank are going to have a lot of experience playing together. Olga and Raf having played in several high level 6v6 teams. So I think if this is the map for them to make a surprising comeback, this is where it's going to happen. But unfortunately, I just think just due to the cohesion, synergy, and just DM superiority of SDCK, that unfortunately they're gonna take this one on a pretty decisive victory.
Okay, yeah, I mean I think that is the kind of the expectation here, and I haven't actually sat down with my calculator. I've worked out playoffs, but I haven't worked out that if Chess Club lose here today, if they lose 6-0, whether that guarantees them relegation. I'm not actually sure. I'll have to work that out if someone's able to get the calculator out and take a look at the table. But process, it's a 5CP map. Obviously, people call it a 6s map because 6s is 5CP dominated, and King of the Hill is also very DM based. So yeah, I would expect Chess Club. I do know that in their warm-up, they did beat Failer in this, who they've been doing pretty well themselves so far this season. They have had a big roster change, and I think this may be the first time where near enough it's the same roster they had last week. Because they have had a very turbulent time. Players turning up and then not timing out. Tiger was supposed to be playing Scout, hasn't actually played in the regular season for them. We were supposed to have Nate and Tracker being the snipers. They've since sort of fallen by the wayside. So the current Chess Club roster, and they've renamed themselves somewhat to Tourettes French Club, because there's a lot of French players, and that's not a bad thing. There's a lot of talent here. We've got Olga on Scout. Now, he was playing Soldier at the start of the season, but he's moved over to Scout, which is a class he is more than comfortable with. Raf has come in onto Soldier, who is, of course, he won the high division this season in 6s. So he's now officially a Prem 6s Soldier. Ascendary on Pyro, Kresnik on Heavy. Again, those two played extremely well together for the Premtech team from sort of seasons 7 and 8, where they performed extremely well. On Demo is going to be Maybe, another French player. He played in the high 6s final for Red Pandas. Engineer is going to be Cobbs. Medic is going to be Seeds. Now, Seeds, I don't know too much about. I did get a message earlier on while I was at work from Cobbs asking if I was able to merc tonight for Chess Club, because I merked for them in a scrim the other night. So they were on the lookout for a medic, because Nursey, who was going to be the medic that they played with, which would kind of rekindle that old Premtech combo of Ascendary, Kresnik and Nursey. Nursey wasn't able to play. So I'm not sure if that's a permanent thing or just a time being, but then Cobb said, oh, we don't need you anymore, we've found somebody else, and that's Seeds. So Seeds is going to be playing tonight, and we'll see how well he fares. On Sniper is Ixie, another new face. Saw him do pretty well on week 3 for against Failer, sorry. And finally we have Kazul, the singular, long-standing, original Chess Club member. Kazul is playing Spy. And do you want to talk about the SDCK roster, Chando, which is probably much more well-known?
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks like their sort of perfect main roster being played tonight, and that is as follows: May on Scout, Jackie Legs on Soldier, Yahoo on Pyro. Sandburn's going to be playing Demo, formerly the winning roster's heavy weapons guy, but I think he's decided to go for a switch up, and so he's been playing very well as the Demo man for this past season. And then Justice is going to be stepping in as Heavy instead. Spray is going to be making a reappearance onto the roster. As you may or may not remember, last week they had Daegu playing for them on backup, and as I felt, it led to a few problems just due to maybe his lack of synergy. Finally, will be playing Sniper, and Granger Bob will be playing Spy. Oh, and Clark will be playing NG. I forgot to mention him. But so yeah, it is their core roster. It's probably where they're going to be most comfortable. And as we do go live here, we are going to see a quick bomb in from Wrath there. Does put a lot of damage out onto their Demo, but May's quick to respond, takes him down, and now high ground isn't something either team's too bothered about, because he gets the pick onto Burn there. It's going to give the sniper superiority for Tourettes Chessclub. Olga going down, however, and now neither team has committed too much. Both are just playing on their side, waiting for the right picks there. May finally coming in, taking down some players there, and Justice following up, taking out a Sendry, Kazul going down as well, so kind of starting to go in favour of SDCK, and that shows because they are just walking across the point there. Kresnik going down, maybe going down as well, and now Seeds trying to back out. He's doing alright, being protected by Raf. The bomb from Sandburn comes in. Can he do anything? No, unfortunately not. May's going to follow up as well, and finally May gets him. However, Sandburn goes down in the process, but it's not going to matter as the SDCK crew maraud their way to the second point.
That was won pretty much by Justice. I don't think he shot a single bullet during the mid-fight, but he stood on the point and he got so much capture time. Nobody contested him. It allowed the rest of the players to really do a lot of stuff for free. May is already on the point, takes a lot of damage. May finally does go down, but he got so much cap time there for free that the bomb comes in very late on by Jackie Legs, and he cleans up and takes hit 1-0 already. I think that's less than a couple of minutes already. Literally, what, 1 minute and 45 seconds there for that first round. SDCK definitely putting their stamp on this map so far, saying it doesn't matter if you guys have got a lot of sixes players, we are going to be strong on this. And Sandburn again, very fast, sticking up at the top of the crates there, trying to maybe contest that high ground by not even being up there. Big Milk comes in, trying to get some stuff with the first frag, goes down onto Cobbs, Burn there with a headshot. And it's just going to be just picks here. The assassin class is going huge. Granger taking down Maven with no demo man on the mid-fight. A 5 CP map is very, very difficult, and Chess realise this. They're trying to escape, but it doesn't matter because people are still chasing. There's a lot of stuff in Jackie Legs tries to, but May just walks in. May is in behind, takes down the medic, and this is just a slaughter, Chandos.
Absolutely. Now with only 3 up, and that is Kazul, Cobbs and Wrath there. It's not going to be enough to cling on to second in the slightest. Not to mention Seeds is going to not up for another 3 seconds or so, giving Sprayer the 100% advantage here. And now Ixie as well going down. They could just technically walk this straight in, and that's exactly what they're doing. They've come in from this far right side here. Justice getting the pick onto Wrath, and now they're just going to be walking. They're not taking as much space as I would have hoped. I think they maybe were a bit too premature to be pushing there. They should have waited for the right opportunity, because now the kills are coming back in for Tourettes Chessclub as Granger and Burn goes down. May as well. Sandburn gets taken down by Olga as well on the flank. Now they might be having to back out of the lobby room. In fact, they might be having to back out altogether as Clark gets taken down. Jackie Legs gets sniped. A good pick there by Ixie, and it looks like Tourettes Chessclub are going to retake the second point with ease, CeeJaey.
Yeah, they're just walking forward. Very well played by them. They just kind of didn't panic. Stayed up on the last point, got some sort of setup going. Kresnik just picking up his first points there with that cap. I mean, it's always nice to get on the board, but I didn't notice he was on 0 points for a while there. It just seems to be a very fast-paced game, and some of the players are struggling to get involved. But I think this is what Chess needed. They're a little bit of stability now. Wrath, though, gets taken down to the stickies of Sandburn, so it's going to be kind of slowing. And Sandburn's really, really far forward here. The Uber is used, and maybe he's going to jump into the choke, but it's just going to be denied by Justice and Yahoo. So maybe going down there kind of for free. And it's going to be very difficult, but Ixie gets the body shot out onto Sprayer. No heals for SDCK for the time being. Seeds is nice and well protected in the choke. He's only really got Ixie for company, but Kresnik is lurking nearby. And here comes the bomb. First rocket, but wow, Raf there. Great defense. Sendry getting credit for the kill, but really a combination of the chess players there to work together and deny that. And slowly but surely, Chando, I think, actually, no, Seeds is fighting Granger in choke. Oh, it's kind of just individual plays going on as Burn picks up 2 kills, and I think SDCK are going to hold this now. It looks like Chess slowly were working onto it, but when players just come out and start picking up some frags for free, it just totally turns the tables.
Yeah, you can tell that they're on the fringe of being able to push that and capture mid, but some good picks by Burn slowed that down as the bomb from Jackie Legs comes in. Can't unfortunately land a good rocket onto Seeds, and now Seeds is kind of caught out a little bit. Not quite in the right position in my eyes, but he has got 100% now, and compared to Sprayer's 60%, they could actually make something of this if they chose to. Jackie Legs still down. Are going to be walking through the flank, which is PC, and going on to May. And maybe they can make something of this. Ixie, however, getting stabbed. They are going to be pushing up on the far left. Clark gets taken down. And now they are pushing in, taking all of the mid space. And there was no one really on mid to actually warrant that Uber being particularly useful. And now the count comes back out, maybe, and Seeds both get taken down. They were so aggressive compared to the rest of their team, and the rest of their team just aren't going to have the heals they need to survive. KritzKast getting taken down. Jackie Legs already playing into their second, goes behind them into the sewers, and doesn't find anything, but yeah, it's more or less just taking this for free now as Raf going down as well. Jackie Legs are unfortunately getting picked off by Olga, but they are going to be able to retake the midpoint, and it looks like at this point, CeeJaey, it is just a back and forth game, but surely constantly going in favor of SDCK.
Yeah, it's just so very chaotic. The Uber there from Chess, they had a huge Uber advantage, and they didn't really achieve anything. And maybe here is really far forward, gets a nice kill on Samay in the end. I was going to say he's maybe overextending and could get caught out, but he survives, and wow, Kazul just comes in and gets 3 players. Bam, bam, bam. 2 backstabs and a revolver kill, and Essential's going to pick up a couple for himself. And this is what I'm talking about. This is just chaos. Like, it looks like SDCK are going to walk in here for free and just take the second point, and huge plays there from the 2 Swedish players on Tourettes Chessclub, and they end up winning the mid-fight, and they have a huge Uber advantage here now. So they're at 75%, Sprayer only at 10, and Burn here watching the choke, hoping to get some sort of pick to slow down this push. Otherwise, SDCK are not going to be in a very good position here. Big bomb in from Jackie Legs, I believe, but he's going to have to jump away because there's nobody there. They're all in sewer, and Burn there does take down Maybe, so that is a big pick. No Demo Man to push this second point. It's gonna, 10-second respawn for him. They might have to wait for him to push, or maybe try and push without him as Granger comes in and gets the backstab onto KritzKast. So again, lots of players just dying here without really much of a purpose. You see Sandburn died down. I'm not sure what he was doing, but he kind of got killed and picked off there by Olga. So Sprayer's probably going to get his Uber in time, and we may be getting to our first stalemate.
Yeah, now with about 85%, Sprayer can kind of just sit back, and we got to keep in mind they are a point up, and SDCK do not really have too much to worry about. I mean, yeah, they are playing on the defensive with the without holding the midpoint, but they are still a point up, so they can wait for Tourettes Chessclub to make the mistake, and that's one thing that I think that they're so good at. Is SDCK. They are just really strong at working on people's mistakes. If you make one error, they will punish you for it. But like potentially an Uber coming straight out of choke onto the Pyro, it just absolutely had nothing, and Kazul and Olga getting drops in the process, and now they can play with a full Uber advantage there. The bomb, however, from Raf might be cutting it short. It does not. Sandburn and, Yahoo even was hot on his heels and got a good reflect there. Justice as well, getting a load of picks. No flank for Tourettes Chessclub, and they can walk this in now. However, they are going to use as Maybe gets a nice bit of damage off onto the SDCK medic there, and they are going to take it nonetheless. But as you were saying, just it's complete back and forth chaos, CeeJaey. I mean, they're taking one mid fight using an Uber, and then with the advantage, the opposing team is doing the exact same thing, and it's just, I don't know if this is going to break at all.
It's difficult because usually you say chaos is going to benefit the team with the stronger DM, because in those little fights that break out, the players that can win those 1v1s and kind of take advantage of the situation is the team that's going to win. But it's very hard to decide because we have very strong players across the board here. I mean, May, Jackie Legs, Raf, Olga, these are all very good players. They have great DM. They play at a high level in 60s. A very early pop here onto Maybe, and he has to sticky jump all the way forward. It's not going to achieve much. That was such an early pop. Granger goes down, Burn goes down, but taking down a spider sniper using your Uber isn't a great kind of trade here, and I think Chess are going to have to maybe get aggressive and get something done, as Maybe tries to get in through the choke, but he's just going to get absolutely denied there. Justice and Yahoo just not allowing anything through that choke, and they use their Uber now, again, very early, and it's going to get traded onto a whole bunch of people. They do take down KritzKast, but Sandburn this time is going to go for the bomb. He might get picked off here by a Sentry. He does. May's also going to die. Oh no, actually May picks up the I don't understand these pops. They seem to be very early. Maybe they're worried about the snipers. Maybe they don't want to get picked off here, as Seeds is so weak in choke. It's shanked there by Granger. This is just madness, and it's very hard to see who's on top. I do think SDCK, seeing as they have their medic alive, are kind of winning this fight right now, but it's anyone's game.
Well, after that butter knife by Granger taking down Seeds, finally there's going to be some Uber advantage for SDCK. I mean, they keep successfully taking midpoint, but it's usually at the expense of their Uber, and then Tourettes Chessclub are just walking straight back in after they get a couple of picks. But now, with almost 90% and Seeds only on 20, they could quite easily walk this straight back in, but they have to make something of it. And the pick by maybe, the pick onto maybe, sorry, is going to be a potential for a push there. However, JackeyLegs going down in return. So now they're going to have to really work out how they want to do this. They are going to be using through, but it's onto Sprayer, kind of by himself. Finally connects up to Samba and Justice. They're able to actually push this. Watching Kazul now almost gets the pick onto the medic. However, gets picked off himself by Justice. But it looks like for now, Tourettes Chessclub are going to hold this because KritzKast was just there on the front line doing tons of damage and just tanking an absolute load as well. And they are going to be walking this back in. Olga leading the charge. Just complete deja vu of what we've been seeing for the past 10 minutes or so. And yeah, I mean, CeeJaey, I mean, how do you think either team can actually break this? What do you think needs to happen for this sort of stalemate? I mean, because I would consider it a stalemate for this to break.
There needs to be a good Uber. There hasn't been a good Uber yet from either side. Like with an Uber, you want to take a lot of ground, you want to get a lot of frags, you want to get the enemy medic. So far, there hasn't been an Uber that you would say is good. You know, people are getting dropped, people are, you know, overextending. Maybe jumps in that he gets Uber and he gets taken down by the mini sentry on point. Like you don't want to drop your demo in an Uber, but he shouldn't be jumping that far forward. So now, nothing was achieved with that Uber. SDCK now have an advantage. They have Uber on second. Now they can re-push, and if they, you know, pick up a few frags with this Uber now, they use it very early again. JackeyLegs is going to bomb in really deep and try to get something done, but surely he's going to get cleaned up by, yeah, there we go, by Raph. And again, we see an Uber that doesn't really achieve much, and then we just see the ensuing chaos as people just start fragging. Yahoo picks up Cobbs there. So SDCK are in the end going to get control of this midpoint, and their medic survives, but Seeds does have about a 40% advantage on his opposing medic. So it's just very back and forth because a lot of these Ubers are being used very early, and there doesn't seem to be very much purpose with them. It don't seem to be kind of a plan. What do they want to do with this Uber? Do they want to go for the medic? Do they know where they're going from? And it just seems that the Uber's used, and that's just a small part of the next kind of phase of action, as maybe gets headshot there by Burn. Seeds was at 100% Uber, and I think that's just going to stop the push from even happening. And Spray is probably going to get his charge now, so unless a drop happens, we're probably going to see another stalemate, but anything can happen here. As JackeyLegs goes for a bomb, Sendry finishes him off. And let's not forget, we're nearly halfway through the game right now, and it's been non-stop action. It's only 1-0, and that first round came down after about a minute. It's just been back and forth since then, and both teams are holding their own. But I think the team that solidifies themselves a little bit more and plays a little bit more smartly is going to be the one coming out on top here.
Yes, quite right. And it looks like they Tourettes Chessclub want to try and get something. They don't want a stalemate. They want to try and instigate a fight here. And they are trying to push through, maybe leading the charge here along with KritzKast, but it's completely useless because they can only Uber really one person at a time, and unfortunately KritzKast gets taken down. The Ubers do come out. JackeyLegs getting a pick onto the sentry there, but Sandberg going down to his sentry, and they have backed up now. Tourettes Chessclub had to back up a little bit as Cobbs and Raph both go down. Olga as well, and a sentry, but however he managed to get in time and take down Sprayer. So that is going to give Seeds a small advantage of about, well, actually a significant one, about 50-odd%. They might be able to walk through with this when they get the respawns now. But what's Clark doing? He just came in from the sewers. And did he get it? Yeah, he did, with the help of May, in fact. May actually came in as well and was able to get the pick onto Seeds there. You could just see Clark. I don't know if that was caught on camera, but he was just sitting there, literally like staring at him for about a second before he started shooting. He must have been just as astounded to find the medic sitting there as we were. But yeah, so now the tables have turned. Spray is going to have the advantage, and as I say, that bomb comes in from Raft, getting down very weak, but he is going to survive, and it looks like they are going to be able to push back into here now. They're pushing up on the right hand side. SDCK starting to get some time on point. KritzKast going down, and Tourettes Chessclub have to make a decision. Are they going to back out, or are they going to actually commit? And it looks like they're going to go for the former, finally getting their players out before it's too late. And now this midpoint going back in favour of SDCK. We're just seeing a continuum of this back and forth chaotic action. And now with a full Uber advantage, we could be seeing a push here, CeeJaey.
Yeah, I mean, Seeds is quite far back. He's well protected. And Nixie there gets a headshot onto Burn, dominating, in fact. So there's not going to be any snipes during this exchange. And Seeds is at 80% right now. So he's kind of chilling quite far back. SDCK don't look like they're ready to push just yet. They're kind of setting up for a hold. Sandburn's just placing super stickies in the choker, prevent anyone from peeking through. So it's given time for Ceez to get his Uber, and we're now back at a situation of a bit of a stalemate. Olga and Maybe are just peeking this choke. They really want to get some damage down and get something done. But Burn is watching the choke, so you know, we've seen a lot of picks from him just as Chessclub get ready to push. But Ixie has been holding his own on Sniper. He's actually dominating Burn, so you know, not a sniper we've seen playing a lot of Highlander, but he's doing very, very well. As we know from his Sixes days, he's very capable on Sniper. So maybe now is where we're going to see the Burns and the Grengers and the Ixies and the Kazools going for those plays to get something done. As I say, that Kazool gets spotted out, but Grenger gets a backstab. So that is the flank and a heavy down now for Chess. SDCK surely going to start to pressure in through the choke. They are, and the Uber is used really, really early on. Sprayer took a lot of damage, had to use it. It's just been pointless. There's no one there to really push, but then Uber's used onto Maybe, and just a little one puff of that air blast sends them shooting back. And SDCK going here for the dry push now. They're just bombing in deep, get a ton of damage, and Chess don't want to stay in. It looks like they're going to have to give this up for free.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fairly smart decision actually. They pushed in, got the force from because clearly they haven't been having any luck with their Uber v Ubers. So they went in, they got the force and backed out, and then once that Uber had finished, before the Tourettes Chessclub flank had a chance to respawn, they were back in again, and now they're able to secure their enemy's second point, and this puts them in a really good position because it is just so hard to push out of your last, and when you are a point down, you really got to do it right, otherwise it can lose you another point. So now Sprayer with full Uber advantage, pushing it into lobby. They don't actually want to slow it down, they want to keep it going, and I don't know how effective it's been because so many players are getting picked off on the side of SDCK, and and it's including Sprayer, Jackie Legs as well, only 3 up now, and it's going to be Yahoo just trying to play the point, and Samburn is going to be the last one there. He's going to get picked off as well, maybe getting the 2k. Now, I mean, that was really questionable. They had a reason to push there. They were in the full control. They could have just waited for a better opportunity there, you know, before that round timer had ran out. And now Tourettes Chessclub are going to be able to push this forward after wiping their enemy, and maybe even take it onto the midpoint, because now Ceez with 100% Uber advantage. He didn't actually have to use that, but maybe playing almost by himself actually gets the kill onto Burn, which again is going to open up some possibility to push through here. They looks like they want to be going through sewers, maybe taking the front of this here, and as well Ixie just playing as well gets unfortunately stabbed by Grenger in a brilliant position, but it's not going to stop them. Kresnik playing with his combo now on the far right side, and they need to start getting players onto point here, otherwise it's completely useless. Jackie Legs is starting to encircle them because Zul gets the pick onto him, and May going down, Jackie Legs as well. However, Clark on the roof manages to get the pick onto Kresnik. No one's actually aware of him, and actually the Uber comes out, and Clark did so much work actually. I'm not sure if he forced them, but he's definitely playing a huge role in distraction, CeeJaey.
Yeah, Clark and Justice were basically behind the combo, and Clark is still behind. He set up a mini sentry, and Clark just barrels in, but he's not going to win against a flamethrower at close range. There was a bit of time there on the point. Raf jumping in onto second already, but Sprayer does have Uber now, so Chess in control of mid, down a couple of players, but they do have a huge advantage, and there is some sort of fight going on through sewer. Uber is forced by Sprayer. Took a bit of damage there, and he decided he had to use a sentry and maybe going down to for the cost. But Ceez is alive. He's backing up with his team. He's at 75%. He's in danger though. Sandburn and Jackie Legs are on the bomb, and they combine to take him down. And that is 3 up for Chess now. It was looking so good, but they just weren't prepared for that Uber to come into them and just kind of unleash destruction. And there we go, SDCK reclaim control of the midpoint. I think they've been in control of mid longer than Chess throughout this game. If that's any sort of gauge of who is in control of this game, it is really hard to decide. We're just under 10 minutes to go now. SDCK do have a huge advantage actually. 80% for Sprayer. They are on second. They're getting time on the capture point. And Ceez goes down! Backstab by Grenger. That is a huge pick, and that is surely going to be an Uber versus no heals push onto last for SDCK. They're checking door number 1 right now, seeing what they can poke and prod, and this is a chance for them to make it 2-0.
Quite definitely, yeah. I think they are opting to wait for Samba and then maybe who just got picked off. However, pick onto Ixie may change things. You know, no sniper and no heals, although finally the respawn comes in, is really huge. May actually getting in by himself, taking down Maybe, and now looks like they want to get in on this. No demo is so good as well, and no sniper, so they are going to be flooding onto the point now. Olga going down, C's going down, May going huge, taking down a Sentry as well now on a 7k, and now Justice pushing onto the point along with Granger, along with May, and that is going to make it 2-0. Perfectly executed push there, even without a demo. I mean, straight from their second all the way to last was just perfectly executed every single time. They were able just to push on, finally getting a successful push from Sewers. It was getting the kill onto Seeds, getting into second, getting the kill onto Seeds again, and then making the most of that as we go into the third round. Mid-fight, both demos quite quick, eager to put down some damage. Samban putting a little bit onto Maybe there. The bomb from Jackie Legs comes in. He's maybe gonna rotate now into IT with the help of his scout. Gets the pick onto the heavy, as well as loads of picks coming in favor of SDCK. Only Justice going down. Seeds went down. Ixie as well. Maybe and Kresnik, and this is a decisive win for SDCK.
Yeah, I mean, the big frag there was definitely the body shot by Burn onto Seeds very early on, and if you lose your medic that early on, there's no heals for you, there's just no kind of pressure from the rest of the players. You kind of just have to sacrifice yourself to try and get the enemy medic. Sprayer has 100% in the bank. They are already poking through number 1. They may as well push here. They're in control of second, and they have this huge Uber. They use quite early on Samburn and May getting a lot of the time, and the Sentry's going to push some of them back. Yaku actually goes down to Ixie, and the Sentry finishes off May. So, you know, 2 players down there that could actually get a lot of cap time and a lot of presence on last point have died. So Chess Club still alive here for the time being. Cobbs has a level 3 Sentry up, and he's kind of moving it forward now. Looks like Chess want to push out from second. They have to. You know, they've got less than 7 minutes. They need to get 2 rounds on the board. We saw it happen yesterday, and we see it happen again here today. It has been so far back and forth. But like you said earlier, Chando, this is where people can just stalemate it out. SDCK don't need to push. You know, they're in control of the enemy's second. They can just sit back and bait. Jackie Legs goes down there, and there's probably an Uber that's going to have to be used. Yeah, it is. And Olga and Raf are going to get the meat of that to try and get some frags. A lot of damage, but no cleanup. It's just not enough. You need more than one person in that Uber to get anything done. They are going to recapture second, but Spray is going to have an advantage. And there's actually a backup going on. Is it going to get down? No! May tries to block the second point, but just wasn't there in time to stop that point from getting capped. But SDCK are just going to dry push this. They're going to have an Uber advantage for last.
Absolutely. Look like they're going to be able to take this with ease as well. Jackie Legs taking the lead of this push here, and it's going to be a dry push, maybe going down as well. So without a demo, could put them in a very good position for a push into last now with Uber advantage as well. As they're about to cap the second point, they do want to get in as Sprayer now pushing into lobby with his Pyro and his Soldier here. And they're in a brilliant position to push in. Maybe now only just respawning, so they might opt to wait for Burn, in fact. But it is Uber v Uber again. Thought they had a slightly bigger advantage, but they want to use it in anyway. They don't really want to stalemate, which I kind of got to respect a little bit. But it's not particularly an effective push here. They do manage to get the kill onto Raph. And the game to Uber it as well, but Clark, Sprayer and Justice all going down in the post Uber there. It's going to give opportunity for Tourettes Chessclub to be pushing forward here, defended by a mini sentry and Samburn. Samburn putting out tons of damage, gets that 3k, taking down maybe Olga, and however goes down himself along with May. But what a brilliant positioning by him. He predicting the Tourettes Chessclub team to be pushing out from lower lobby and was just able to pound the damage and gets 3 incredible kills that might actually prevent Chess Club now from pushing out into second.
Yeah, it's definitely slowed them down. Ixie and Kazul going down there as well, so there's not going to be any picks coming out from them. Seeds does have an advantage. He's at 85%, so Chess don't have a choice right now. They have to push out, maybe getting headshot by Burn. That's happened a few times. Burn really just focusing down the Demo Man, but Olga trades and takes down Sandburn, and the Uber is used. There's no one really to kind of follow up on. They get Clark, an NG pick's not really anything to write home about. Burn is still really far forward. He's going to try and get a hero shot maybe before he gets focused down. SDCK are trying to fight this actually. They're only 5 alive, but they're actually getting a few frags. They actually may be doing this. Sprayer is only at 86%, but he feels comfortable enough around the place. He's got alive that SDCK are going to go for a push onto last now. They could make this 3-0 and make it impossible for Chess to get back. Maybe goes down to a combination of Sandburn and May. And they don't really take much ground, and they're not focusing the point, but a Sentry, gets a headshot. Burn with a few frags is really opening doors. That Sentry though by Cobbs is still alive, and Sprayer's caught out here. He's up in Panic Room alone. He's got no one for company. Justice is going to try and get on the point, and Kazul and Ixie combine. They respawn, get in there, and frag the heavy, so no cap for them. And Chess really just need to kind of say, okay, we've killed Sprayer. He's dead. We need to push out now. We just need to throw caution to the wind, go out. We either lose this 3 or 4-0, or we go out and we try to get some rounds on the board and actually get into a golden cap. Otherwise, they've lost it already anyway. So hopefully they get a little bit aggressive here, and they are on second already, Chando. So we may see a bit of a fight happening any moment now.
Absolutely, they need to keep this momentum going if they've got any hope of restoring this first map, or potentially getting a golden cap here. Seeds, however, going down is going to put a stop to that momentum there. Burn just playing in the right spot. I think he was playing from sewers by the looks of it, and was able to get the kill onto Seeds. However, Clark and May going along with Jackie Legs. They do want to keep this momentum going, as it's all they've got. It's either this or they lose. So they are going to be continuing to go in there. Burn getting taken down, Justice falling quite weak, but his medic doing a very good job. However, not quite enough as Raph gets the kill onto him. Gringer as well goes down, and they're able just to walk across the point. Sprayer did manage to survive on 70% Uber, and Seeds only just respawning is going to put them in a huge Uber disadvantage, but they have to keep going. It even looks like SDCK want to lock this. They've got to slow this game down. However, May going down, and Jackie Legs' bomb being ineffectual is going to ruin any hopes of that, and it looks like they're going to take the mid point with ease here. They got to keep it going, however, and I don't really know what the kind of times are like, if they have any actual realistic chance of being able to get to the golden cap now. CeeJaey, do you know at all?
I think if they push in now, especially as they take us down Sandburn and Jackie Legs, if they push in now and roll this to last, then there's a chance. There's actually a chance. They just need to have a quick next round. But it's all about whether they win this fight or not. They are getting frags. It's 4. Make that 5 down, 6 down for SDCK. Absolute destruction coming in. Raph is on an 8k right now. Cobbs takes down Justice with his sentry. Sprayer goes down. Ixie with the headshot. This is Chess's chance to shine. There is 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. Somebody needs to get on the point now. Really pressure that. They can't even hesitate. They just need to go in. They have Uber. They are ready. Olga's already in. He's got no one to help him. He finally does. And Ixie is just on a roll. What is going on with this kid? He gets another few headshots. Takes out Gringer as well. Chess are going to get onto that point. They're going to put a round on the board, Chanda. That is 2-1. There is 60 seconds left on the clock. They need to absolutely wipe the mid and roll all the way to last. Is SDCK even going to turn up to mid? Or are they just going to turtle it and hope for the best? This is tense.
Absolutely is. I mean, they have to absolutely just steamroll their way into their last to re-secure this. But there was some brilliant aggression, something that I'm sure they wish they'd been doing several minutes prior, because it could have been the difference between winning and losing this. However, the first pick onto Raph is going to put things difficult, make it difficult. However, Burn going down, it's going to give Ixie all the space he needs as he comes in. Takes down Sprayer as well, but Justice going to pick onto Olga. Justice going to pick on the Cobbs as well. He's annihilating everything. Yahoo going down as well. Seeds getting stabbed as well by Granger is going to equalise that Uber disadvantage. But Ixie getting the pick onto Kresling as well, getting the pick onto Granger Bob as well. He's turned up so hard. He's doing so much work. With only 5 seconds, it's all, in the bag already. It's just for the logs, but the logs are going to look good for that man. Ixie absolutely turned up at the end there, big time. Fortunately, a little too late, but it really makes you think, doesn't it, CeeJaey? If they could have adopted that aggressive attitude that we saw in the last few minutes, if they could have had a completely different outcome of that game.
It really does make you think. I mean, thinking face in chat, if you please, because I mean, that's the thing. You ever hear about the pub push? You know when you play in a pub and everyone just stands around in choke, like, you know, shooting rockets and throwing milk and just kind of just chilling. No one wants to press W. And then you get to the last 30 seconds. The announcer says, there's 30 seconds left to go. And then everybody, the pub mentality, just everyone's just like, okay, I'm going to press W now. And then everyone just floods onto the point and you win the round. You know, and it just seemed almost like that. Like chess were like, okay, we're under pressure now. We have to play aggressive. And it worked out well for them. Yeah, it makes you think. If they'd done that from the get-go and just said, let's just be aggressive. Let's just, you know, throw caution to the wind. Just go balls deep and see what we can do. You know, who knows what could have happened. But 2-1 against the current defending champions isn't anything to sniff at, actually. Looking at the logs, this obviously went to the full the full round time of 30 minutes. May there with 33 kills, top fragged. And Ixie there with 31. Definitely showing his capabilities. Heading into a Koth map. That's always a good sign if your sniper is on fire. He got nearly 2,000 more damage than Burn. Burn didn't have too bad of a game either. He got 24 kills. But Ixie with the 38 headshots as well. Raf and Maybe going 26 and 25. Getting in some decent damage as well. So, you know, you take a look at the frags. There's only 6 frags difference between the two teams. SDCK got 6 more kills than Chessclub. It just seems that they took more advantage of, you know, the kills that they got and took the space. There was a lot of dry pushing. There was a lot of kind of just exchanging and just walking forward. They were using their aggression well. And maybe that was just the only thing that was lacking in chess. Of course, this is still a fairly new roster. You know, it's only been playing together for the past, you know, week and a half. So who knows? Maybe with a little bit more experience, they could have done a little bit better here. But, you know, losing 2-1, that's not too bad. I mean, is anything else jumping out for you on the logs there?
Well, I mean, as you said it quite clearly, Ixie doing so much work against probably one of the best snipers in Europe at the moment. Raf, as I predicted, the flank for Tourettes Chessclub was strong, actually. You know, Olga going 21 to 19 with 320 DPM, and Raf as well doing a lot of work, 274 DPM and 26 frags. So they were doing a lot of work. Maybe I thought he was overextending a little bit. However, given how many frags he got as a result, maybe it was worth it. I'm not really too sure, but at the same time, Justice doing a ton of work, Jackie Legs as well. So it's no surprise that the SDCK were able to win that by looking at these logs at the same time. You know, May almost pounding 400 damage per minute as scout. Top damaging, seconded by Sandburn, but 33 kills to 20 deaths and almost 400 DPM is nothing to grumble at for a scout. So he was absolutely turned up, on fire, cleaning up, and you could tell he was invested a lot with the team. They were playing a lot around him. They were finding the space, and he was weaving in there and getting the job done. So I think a lot of it falls down to SDCK's really good strategy and teamwork together. And I think that's something that Tourettes Chessclub, if they sort of found it towards the end of the game, but by then it was too late, CeeJaey. By then the die had already been cast, and unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, in the future, they might have a chance if they can stick with this roster and really work on it. I think that they could have a lot of potential.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that does to their playoff aspirations. So, you know, if they win here on Coalplant now, that is 3 points for them. They have a potential 6 points next week in their final group game on Badwater. So that would put them on 11 points in total. So, yeah, there's no chance of them reaching the playoffs now, unfortunately. For them, it's all about making sure they're not in the bottom two and have that embarrassment of being relegated. I think, actually, for the brand name Tourettes Chessclub, I mean, looking at the team, I think the only players who've actually ever played for chess before in the past, you know, you got Kazul and stuff like that. But this is the first time they won't have made the playoffs in their history. So that's a little bit of a landmark, I guess. But we're on to Coalplant now. This is King of the Hill. This is slightly similar in the fact that it's very DM based, but it is totally different in the fact that there's only one control point. We do have SDCK on the red. Sandburn very, very aggressive, putting so much damage and just sticking up that shutter door. Kresnik slips through though. Chess in the blue are starting to walk through, but Jackie Legs with the early bomb takes down Seeds. Sunburn takes down Maybe. Granger takes down KritzKast. That is the holy trinity of picks. The Demo, the Heavy, and the Medic. And SDCK already got time on the point. Ixie is going to go down to Burn as well, so he's not going to start off on any sort of spree. And SDCK coming out strong, straight out of the blocks.
Absolutely flawless performance there by SDCK, and huge credit to Jackie Legs. He wasted absolutely no time as well. He just went straight for the jump there and landed 2 incredibly good rockets onto the Medic, and that pretty much sealed their fate. They're able just to walk across the point, pounding huge amounts of damage, and as he's taking down the 3 most important players. But the bomb from what's his face comes in, comes in and gets the force onto Sprayer. They are going to make decent of it. I mean, May is not going to escape. They were able to get a actually, I don't think they were able to get that much, unfortunately, but Burn going down as well is going to also mean that Tourettes Chessclub could potentially walk this across. Granger Bob and Jackie Legs getting taken down respectively as well. So yeah, now the tables have turned a little bit, CeeJaey, and they are able just to walk across the point here, and yeah, they're going to secure it. You know, they did that within a minute, which I think is quite impressive. That was a really good time actually to be able to loot points so horrifically and then push straight back onto it and capture it in under a minute. Yeah,
there's a good feeling as a medic when your team's able to frag and capture the point without having to use your Uber. Seeds is still chilling there with 100%. Spray is at 90, he's catching up, but it's taken time, and you see they've already chalked off 35 seconds off the clock. And they haven't had to use their Uber, so SDCK are having to catch up. They have to get their Uber, and now they have to win this engagement. But they're just walking onto the point for free. There's nobody denying them, but they use their Uber. There's a lot of flashing. Sendry's going to get the majority of the Chess Uber though, and actually they're taking down players maybe with the 2 kills to Yahoo and Justice. Finally, Sunburn takes down a Sendry, but at what cost? He took down so much, did so much damage. Sprayer goes down in the end to Olga, who comes in for the cleanup. Seed survives, and wow, they lost like 15, 14 seconds there. Little mini surf there by Seeds just to avoid Jackie Legs' rocket. But that was really well played from them. They forced SDCK to kind of flash their Uber many times, kept it on a solo, and just did so much damage. Although maybe getting caught out here, and he does by Yahoo with the flare. And SDCK might go for a dry push here because they know that our Uber at disadvantage. Seeds is already at 70%, but big one from Raph! 1 rocket onto Sprayer isn't enough though. Wasn't able to get off a second, and SDCK surely going to recapture this point.
Yeah, it was a brave effort there by Raph, landing I think 1 rocket onto Sprayer, but it wasn't going to be enough, and yeah, they were able just to walk this straight back on in a dry push. KritzKast getting the pick onto May, however, and also onto Granger. It's not so bad, but it doesn't seem to, yeah, they kind of want to keep this going, in fact. They are going to be trying to pressure the point now with 100% Uber. Seeds held on to that, and Sunburn going down as well is going to put things pretty much in a certain position for Tourettes Chessclub. But look at where they're playing at the moment. You know, Seeds is playing in a very questionable spot here. I've never really seen this hold before. I mean, I guess they're trying to hold the aggressive right side, but it is a little dodgy. In my eyes anyway. Gren getting picked off by a Sentry there, and they're holding this aggressive spot, and Ixie getting the pick up to Justice. Jackie Legs as well getting the quick 2k, and they're holding this really well at the moment as they fall down to only a minute. The Uber comes out, however, and it's going to go on to KritzKast, and it's unfortunately not going to make that much of a difference to the game, and the counter comes out, taking down KritzKast there, but that's going to fade as well. And now it's going to be a Sentry that was just playing. He was playing in the flank, and he managed to pick off Sprayer, got Granger Bob as well, I do believe. And Burn getting Maybe, however, that was insane.
Sorry to interrupt, but Cobbs with the fist onto May. May was just all over. He was like, what do you call it, flies on honey or whatever. He was just all over Seeds. Seeds was just dodging for his life. And Cobbs comes in with the fist just to protect his medic. It was a desperation moment there because May was so close to getting the flag, and no one was there supporting him, trying to get that med pick. It does mean that Seeds has an Uber advantage now, so that lack of urgency from the rest of the SDCK players may come into play here. They are behind at the times, and Chess are walking forward here. They have 80% in the bank, 30% more than Sprayer. Some of their players are quite weak, so it's very difficult for them to contest. Maybe going down there to a body shot from Burn. SDCK starting to walk forward. They may get caught out. A Sentry is there ready to receive this Uber, and I think he might actually get it. As Sunburn, it's like is just standing on the point. He could have... I'm not sure what Chess are doing here. They should be going forward and taking this space. Sprayer goes down quite low, and he's quite far back here, which is going to allow Sandberg to get a free pick onto KritzKast because no one's helping him capture the point, Chando.
Yeah, finally they're pushing on there. They kind of baited out KritzKast a little bit after getting the pick onto Burn as well, which is really important when both Ubers going to come out now. And it's going to go onto a Sendry there, CeeJaey. Nothing's really been made of it, however. The Ubers are going to fade, and the Reflect taking down, maybe Olga going down as well, is going to put things in the driving seat for SDCK. They've nearly got the point though, and the headshot onto a Sendry by Burn. He also manages to take down, getting his second kill onto Ixie. And now we're just going to have to see if they can get the last remnants of their players onto the point there. KritzKast is getting ready. They still have a bit of time before that point comes down. And Olga's going to be on the flank there. Unfortunately gets taken down by Jackie Legs. KritzKast getting sniped as well, and the frags are coming all in favor of SDCK, but it's not going to stop Tourettes Chessclub. This is all they've got really, but it's not going to be enough. And SDCK is going to take the first round in a very close, it was very close indeed, CeeJaey.
Yeah, Chessclub could have won that. They looked ready, like you said. KritzKast was ready and waiting. Like he was spun up, he was ready to go in, and then they all just kind of ran him one by one. It was very odd to see. If they just pushed in all together, they could have just swamped onto them, and you get faster respawns when you don't have control of the point. But new mid fight, lots of damage coming out from the demos. Maybe is very, very weak, down to 69 HP, and we do see the first kill coming for Sandburn, taking down Kazul. Olga also going down there. Jackie Legs not being able to replicate his first round bomb. But Raph is in behind, trying to get something done. He's fighting Clark and May. He's surviving, but May is going to dominate him, taking him down. No cap time as yet, but SDCK are just so much further forward here. Maybe he's getting a lot of heals. He's just tanking it and trying to damage the players trying to cap. But SDCK just seems so much more aggressive. They're taking that space and getting all of this cap time. It's half capped already, and Chess are just kind of on the back foot because of it.
Absolutely, yes. The Ubers are going to come out now, however, trying to put a stop to this cap by SDCK, but the counter's going to come out along with the buff banner, I do believe it is. And but it looks like with the help of KritzKast, they are able to hold on to this, and Tourettes Chessclub are now going to take control. Burn actually getting taken down as well, but however, maybe getting picked off by Jackie Legs. He is going to be in as well. Unfortunately, Cobbs takes him down, and May as well, trying to make the most of it. Actually manages to get the pick onto Seeds as well before getting taken there by KritzKast. What an absolute legend of a player, and what an incredible play there. And the stab onto a Sendry as well, before pistoling down Ixie as well, putting Granger in a really good position as well here. SDCK can quite easily take this back now, as the enemy medic only just respawning, their flank only just respawning, Ixie down as well, only just respawning, and they're able just to walk across this. No one's noticing. Cobbs on the flank there, and almost actually getting the pick, but is unfortunately picked off by Clark. Ixie, however, taking down Clark in return there, but they are just going to be able to hold on to this after Ixie gets taken down by Burn. KritzKast as well. Kazoo getting taken down as well by Yahoo. They're in a very good position. The Uber comes out, however, and it's going to be a bit sloppy as they get juggled around. This is going to be more of a defensive one. Sprayer's going to have to back up as he falls so weak, along with Justice falling down to half health, and it's only going to be Sandburn playing by himself, holding down that right choke point there. But now they can hold fairly comfortably. However, Seeds almost coming in with 100% Uber, so we might be seeing a very aggressive push from Tourettes Chessclub.
Yeah, they Uber now, and they're going to try and get some space, maybe with the jump again. He lands on the head of Sprayer, and he doesn't land the pipe. Sprayer somehow wheedles his way out of there, and in the end, Chessclub end up losing more players because of it. They are only 4 up right now. They don't have the cap, and it's probably not in their interest to cap, because their respawns are going to be very late, but they don't even get the chance to. SDCK are going to clean up those players that are remaining, and wow, I mean, again we see these kind of aggressive Ubers, and if only just a little bit more damage onto Sprayer there, Chess could have been in a really good position, but the rest of the players who aren't involved in the Uber are focusing really hard, and we see a bit of a forward hold here from SDCK right now. Ixie takes down Sandburn, but Burn is in a good position to see quite far in. Trying to see what he can do. He gets taken down by Ixie then. That's 3 players they've lost right now, but Yahoo comes in from behind. He takes down Seeds and maybe finishes up with Ixie and Olga. That's a 5k for the Pyro. And Chessclub, after looking really strong in the first round, looking a little bit out of sorts right now. It seems to be going back to the chaotic ways we saw on Process. There's only 50 seconds left on the clock for SDCK, and they could make it 2-0 here.
They could indeed, yes. They did have to use Zuba, but was able to get Seeds in the process there, so he's going to hold on to an advantage. But it looks like they want to try and get some time on point. Good Jurati, however, is going to set Tourettes Chessclub there, maybe playing under right now. So we might be able to see him go for something, just putting some stickies out there. He needs to really connect with the rest of his team. I feel like he's been playing a little bit apart from his teammates, and it's making their combo a little weak there. Does get the pick onto Jackie Legs, however, Burn getting the pick onto Ixie there. So now SDCK are in a very dominant position. Only 12 seconds left. They got to start pushing this now. Sprayer almost has Uber, so they could just use it just to defend the point, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Getting the pick onto Maybe, getting the pick onto Kresnik and Raph and a Sendry. And yeah, they're not even going to be able to touch the point, CeeJaey. They're going to take this 2-0 instead.
It's crunch time now. I mean, being 2-0 down on a Koth map, it's quite hard because you know that you cannot make any more mistakes. You have to win the next round, then you have to win the round after that, and then you have to win another round to make sure you win. So SDCK are in a position where they could actually afford to make mistakes here, as May just kind of absolutely hammers down Maybe. He eventually dies to the flare of Yahoo, but most of that damage came from the scout. Lots of aggression here coming from SDCK. They've lost a few players, but again, they just have the positioning on the point. Burn there with a couple of kills onto Kresnik and onto Ixie. So they seem to be the ones in control of the midpoint for the time being. And they just seem to be getting their sniper further forward, so he's getting to better sight lines. Finally, he goes down there to Kazul, but just being further forward allows him the scope to get those players like Kresnik, who are maybe playing a little bit more passive, and Chess just aren't really prepared for that aggression from the sniper. So now they're back into a passive position. Chess have to get something done. It is in fact a Kritz. Didn't catch that. Kritz is used onto Maybe. He doesn't get anything done because Sprayer uses his Uber. And we see a bomb here from Raph, but Granger with the backstab onto Seeds is going to take him down. Medic down. We'll have to see if Seeds respawns again on Kritz or if it's Uber, because Sprayer as yet is untouched. He's just chilling in main with the rest of his team. And 5 players up for SDCK. Chessclub are sticking with the crits here, Chando. Do you think that's what they need? Do you think it's going to work?
I mean, if there's something we've seen in previous games, I think that have been casted with Humi, is that these crits are not working at this kind of level. It's very rare that a team is going to fall for it, especially a team like SDCK, which is they're so smart. They have really got their heads synced together, and I think they can easily counter a crits play, and that's exactly what they've been doing. They do, however, lose the point. Wait, dry push from Tourettes Chessclub. However, Granger getting the pick onto Maybe. Cobb's going down as well. Might see things being able to push forward. Olga as well getting picked off, and they are able just to walk back onto the point now. SDCK starting to get some time on there, led by Sandburn. And Sprayer now with 85%, Seeds with 100% crits there. If they're going to do it, they've got to do it soon. But Sprayer's going to have it any second now. And then, in my eyes, that pretty much puts the crits out of play, because a very good medic such as Sprayer is not going to be falling for it. And in fact, they're just going to be walking straight forward into them, punishing them for that. Seeds instantly getting taken down, Maybe as well. And that's the perfect thing to do when you know the enemy's got crits. However, Sprayer on the retreat, almost getting taken down by Olga there. Does get Koal, unfortunately, and he's going to get taken down by Jackie Legs. So yeah, I mean, as I was saying, and I think it's completely true. You know, if you know they've got crits, you just pile drive into them, and you know, with that Uber, and what can a crits play do? The crits is completely nullified, CeeJaey.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we always say it, don't we? The crits, you have to be either using it as a surprise or playing the numbers, and if you're not using it at the right time, when, you know, as May gets, he's not 5k right now, he's dominating Seeds, takes him down again. So no heals for Chessclub is less than a minute to go. It's not looking good for them right now. The crits play hasn't worked out for them. They've maybe stalled on it a little bit too long. They had to just get really aggressive, like they did in the last moments of process. Just get really aggressive, use that crits, just get as many kills as you can, and then play around it after that. But 30 seconds left on the clock. Sprayer very close to Uber now. He's chilling on point with 90%. Chess need to get some time on the point. and just really kind of get something done. As Raf goes in, he does get the force, so that's step number one. The Uber has been used by SDCK. There's not going to be an Uber for the remaining 10 seconds, but there's still so much to do. Sentry winning the Pyro battle there, taking down Yahoo, but wow, Burn and Justice take down Maybe and Seeds. That is the killer blow. No demo and medic or a heavy, and people are just going to chill on the point. That is going to be a 3-0 for SDCK on Coalplant. That means they take the full 6 points of this engagement. Chess Club go home with 0 and still remain rooted to the bottom of the table. I don't think that tells the whole story. I thought that was going to be much closer after that first round. Chess just looked really strong. And then, I don't know whether SDCK just kind of got more comfortable with how Chess were playing and countered it, or I don't know, Chess got a little bit more sloppy. I couldn't really see what was going on, but in the end, it was quite one-sided.
It was indeed. As you say, it's really hard to tell whether or not it was SDCK just warming up and coming into their element, or if Tourettes Chessclub were just crumbling. And I feel like maybe it was a bit of both. SDCK, you could definitely tell that after the first round they came together, they were playing a lot more succinct, and individual DM shot up as well. And on the other hand, I did think that Tourettes Chessclub, after such a close first round, they didn't draw it back together. They sort of fell apart a little bit, and they were weak because of it. And I think the logs will show that if we go into them now. So, the big thing that stands out is Burn coming in 23-8, 433 DPM, 23 headshot. That's insane, especially when compared to Ixie, only coming in at 9-15 and only 9 headshots, 260 DPM. So a complete reverse of what we saw on CP Process, where Ixie was just dominating the entire scene, and that was no surprise. He has been an incredible sixes sniper, maybe one of the best this season in sixes, and I think he knows the sightlines so well for Process, and that's not replicated, unfortunately, for Coalplant. So Burn was able to have a insane sniper superiority. Samburn as well, pounding 500 damage per minute as well. It's got to show something, and the damage numbers as well just coming in favor of SDCK. Pretty much the top, what is that, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 7 out of 8 of the top fraggers were from SDCK, with only Kazul doing a lot of work on Spy. So, I mean, CeeJaey is anything else really that there is to say about that. It just seems like the damage and the kills were just in huge favor numbers for SDCK.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said there. Like, 7 of the top 8 fraggers were SDCK, 6 of the top 7 damagers were SDCK. It was only really Kazul who features in the top lists there. I mean, the KADs, we got 5 people who got over 3 KD. I mean, Sprayer only died twice in quarter of an hour. So there was some moments where he could have gone down, maybe an extra player in an Uber, maybe a little bit more pressure from somewhere. Could have taken down the medic, and that could have maybe been a different story. But that first round just looked really, really strong for Chess. They kind of came up the block strong. They looked in control. And then it just seemed that SDCK were like, okay, we're just going to play our style. And there were just some big plays from individuals. We saw Yahoo, we saw May, we saw Burn, all kind of go on a couple of fragging sprees there, getting some key classes. And when you've got other players just kind of pumping out damage and getting kills, it was kind of a foregone conclusion the way that they were playing. Chess, though, I think if you'd said after week 2 they would be going this close against SDCK, I think people wouldn't have believed you, because they did lose to Lucrosa and Envision, and people were saying, okay, they're kind of washed up, they're not doing very well. They have reformatted their roster, so to speak. They've got some people, they've been playing with this lineup for a week or so now, and they did do well. Let's not forget on Process, it was very close. It was only 2-1 after a very back and forth game. Coalplant, they could have got around at the start there, but maybe it was just the experience of SDCK and the cohesion between the players that in the end and won them the game. But yeah, there we go. So I think that looking at the table, it means there is one chance for Chess Club to avoid relegation They have to beat Strong Opinions in their final week and hope that other results go their way. Otherwise, they will finish in the bottom 2. SDCK, meanwhile, with that 6 points, puts them onto 18, which is that magic number. 3 wins with those full points means they are guaranteed to be in the playoffs in some form. Whether that's going to be as first, second, or third seed, that remains to be seen. But they will be there, and the final team will be decided at some point. We'll find out. But yeah, I mean, any final words? Who was your man of the match, Chando?
My man of the match, I think, to be completely accurate, I think we'd have to split it between man of the maps, because process, I think Ixie was completely holding down every single angle so well, and I think it was one of the main contributors to having Chessclub having such a close game. However, it wasn't replicated on Coalplant, and I think on the other side, Burn was definitely my man of that map for doing basically the same thing. So I think the snipers there were doing a ton of work. May as well doing a lot of work on both maps, especially on process. But even though he didn't maybe get that many kills on Coalplant, I mean 17 to 14 is nothing to grumble at, but it wasn't right at the top like we saw in process. But he was doing so much work at pestering the flank, distracting, getting behind. That's something that I didn't see from Olga, unfortunately. So I think if I had to, give one, May, Ixie, and Burn were some of the best players I think that were performing that game by far.
It's almost like the sniper class is quite strong in Highlander.
Yeah, who'd have guessed that?
Really makes you think. Well, thank you for joining me, Chando. As always, it's been a pleasure. 2 days in a row we've cast together. It's always great fun. And as well, thank you to Wiethoofd in the background for doing the production and just kind of, keeping everything ticking over. We don't have any Highlander this weekend. There is a match going on, but we won't be covering it because instead we're going to be covering the charity event for Heals for Reals. It's going to be involving the likes of Eckstein. There's going to be show matches and all sorts. And I do believe if you donate, there is an in-game medal for you. So go check it out. There is some links in the chat if you want to go check out to find some more information. Hopefully, we'll see you there. There will be more Highlander action next week as we enter the final week. Some positions to be decided. We enter Payload Badwater, a classic staple of Highlander. And we'll be seeing which teams are going to take those final playoff spots and which teams are going to be relegated. Thank you for watching, guys. This has been Chessclub versus Super Dickmann's. SDCK taking it 2 maps to 0. And we will see you next time.